Range Elementary. Should we try that again?
Yeah.
Good morning, South Range Elementary. Bravo, good job. It's so good to see you all. Everyone is wearing such wonderful colors. You look like a rainbow. I see pink. I see blue, like the sky and like the ocean. I see a lot of green. Why are you wearing so much green? Why are you wearing so much green?
Because it's Earth Day.
It's Earth Day. Are you celebrating Earth Day today? Yeah. Oh my goodness, then this is going to be so much fun. Do you know who is here with me today?
No.
Oh, you're looking around, but you know someone's here, right? You know something's happening, don't you? Who knows who I am? Armstrong. I know you. Your name is Steve, right? There's a no. My name is Miss Krista, and I'm from Armstrong, and I'm usually at South Range Elementary doing a program called Kids Corner, right?
Yeah.
Just say yes. Yeah, that happens every once in a while. Great. But today, I'm here with my friends from Beaver Township Parks. Who likes to go to the park? You all I know, we just talked about vacation and everyone's doing something outside. Nobody said, oh, I'm just going to stay inside the house for vacation, you know, maybe stay in my room. All of you are going outside this summer. We're outside right now. Do you ever go to Woodworth Park, which is in Beaver Township? Miss Krista loves that park. That park's right by my office, so sometimes I walk there on my lunch. Do you know that in Beaver Township, you have a nature preserve? Who knows what a nature preserve is? Do you know what a nature preserve is? What is a nature preserve? Yep, you.
It's like animals and like they're caring for them.
Bravo, excellent. It's like there's animals there and plants and nature, and everyone's caring for them. Nobody's ripping a flower out of the ground. Nobody's hurting an animal or fishing. They're taking care of the animals. And that's what my friends at Beaver Township Parks do. They take care of the parks and of the nature preserves. So I hope that you get to go there this summer. So if you're not on vacation, that's a great place to kind of have a vacation for a day. Well, my friends at Beaver Township Parks have a special friend of both of ours that we both got to meet at different events that does something very important. Have you ever seen a hurt bird? Who's seen a hurt bird? What do you do if a bird's hurt? What do you do? Because they're probably not a pet, right? It's not like your dog or your cat or your goldfish. You can't take them to the vet. So what do you do?
You could take care of it.
You could take care of it, sure. How do you know how to take care of it? How do you know how to take care of a bird?
Well, you give him food.
You give him food, you're right, but there's a lot of things you need to do. What else? You're right, you have to give him food. What else?
Pick it up with the net.
Pick it up with a net. Okay, what else? It's funny that you say that, my little friend. Take it to a wildlife preserve. I have a friend with me today, and my friend's name is Heather Merritt, and Heather is in charge of Birds in Flight Sanctuary. Heather started it. Do you know why she started it? Who knows why Miss Heather would start a sanctuary? Why? Yes, because Heather loves birds and she wanted to take care of them. And I read Heather's website today, Birds in Flight Sanctuary. And it said the first time Heather Merritt put her healing hands on a bird, it was with a great deal of care and much fear. A great horned owl was down in a neighbor's yard. The bird was very thin and sick. With her heart and lots of research, Heather gave this lucky bird a second chance at life and flying free. That was 22 years ago. And that is now what Heather does, is help take care of birds. She's had training, she's had hands-on experience, she's even received her license in how to rehabilitate wildlife, especially birds of prey. So birds that maybe eat other things, which is important because they have to survive, and that way there's not bugs all over and fish all over, right? Birds have to eat too. She may be at any time working with more than 70 birds. And guess what else? Miss Heather gets money to run her sanctuary by donations. So Miss Heather doesn't get paid. She does this because she loves them. And I think she brought some friends with her today that she's going to tell us all about. So, Heather Merritt, without further ado.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I brought a couple friends with me today. We have Anthony, who is my oldest son, and I brought Cameron with me too, and he is my youngest son. And they both help me at the sanctuary to take care of all the animals that we have. We have 167 animals right now. So we are very, very busy. But we don't just have birds at our place right now, but we have mammals too. All of our animals, all of our wild animals, are protected by either Ohio law or U.S. Fish and Wildlife law. So all our rabbits and our raccoons and our squirrels, and then all the way up to our bald eagles and our peregrine falcons, all of those are all protected by the law. So you have to have a license to take care of them. And Miss Krista kind of told you a little bit about that. I have 7 licenses that I have to do what we do. The first one is that we can take in animals that have been hurt and then get them all better, and then we let them go back out into the wild again. Our second one is sometimes when they go through rehabilitation, they can't be let go because they have an injury. And then they can't go free anymore. And those are the birds you're going to see here today. All of those are on our education permit. Then we have a research permit. And what we're doing, and we're the only one in the world doing this right now, we have a one-eyed project. And what that means is if a bird has been hit by a car and it loses its eye or it can't see out of its eye, then we take the bird and we train it and we hunt it, and then we put a little tracking device on its tail so we can watch it for 6 months. And we follow that bird everywhere it goes to make sure that it's okay and it's not getting into trouble. And then at the end of all that, we turn all of our research information into the Division of Wildlife and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. So they can track the study that we're doing so they know how well one-eyed birds do. Then our last permit that we have is our Falconry Permit. Has anybody ever heard of falconry? What is falconry? Can anybody tell me? No? Falconry is one of the oldest sports in the world. Who here goes hunting? There's a lot of you that hunt. What do you take with you when you go hunting? A gun. Well, guess what? I don't take a gun with me, I take a bird with me. And my bird will hunt with me. So what we'll do is we'll go into a field and say I have a red-tailed hawk. And I'll let my bird go, and it'll sit up in the tree, and we'll hunt together. And whenever it gets enough food, then we'll go home, and she'll go back into her cage. That is what falconry is you take in a bird, and you hunt it, and you hunt together. So I am a master falconer, which means that I can hunt anything up to like a golden eagle. Cameron and Anthony, they're just starting. So they can hunt like a red-tailed hawk. So they hunt a much smaller bird. But that's what falconry is. So we use falconry in what we do at our place because we can take birds and we can take them and fly them and make them strong and make sure they're very healthy before we let them go back out into the wild again. When you were talking about Miss Krista, you said that you could take the bird home and you can take care of it. That's not a very good idea. There are a lot of birds in the wild and they eat many, many different things. And a lot of times if you get in a baby bird, you don't know what kind of bird that is. So how do you know what to feed it? You don't know. So that's why you bring them to people like me, and then we know what kind of birds they are, and then we're able to feed them the right food. Okay?
Okay.
So we talked about our license, right?
Yeah.
And do you have to have a license to take care of wild animals?
Yes.
Yes. So when you find an injured animal, what are you going to do?
Take it to you.
Take it to me, probably. Because we're the only one in 16 counties. We do from Lake Erie all the way down to the Ohio River. So we take care of a lot of places. Okay, there are some things that we do when we go out and we go fishing or we go walking in the park. And there's things that we do that sometimes we don't realize that can harm wildlife. So I brought a couple things with me today. How many of the kids here fish? Okay, what do you do with your fishing line when it's a big tangled mess and you have to cut it off? What do you do with that big clumpy mess? What do you do with it?
Throw it back in the water.
Throw it in the water? Okay, does anybody do anything besides throw it in the water?
Put it in the garbage.
Put it in the garbage?
Or put it in a burn pile.
Or put it in the burn pile? Anybody do anything besides throw it in the garbage, burn it, and throw it away?
Give it to a bird.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about those things, okay? The first thing we got was we throw it back in the water. Now, did you ever see a duck or a swan eat? They go right along the edge of the water and they're sifting through all of that dirt and they're pushing it in their mouth. And when they hit something that they think is food, they swallow it. So what do you think's going to happen if they come across your fishing line that you threw into the water?
They'll eat it and die.
You're right. They will eat it. All of this in this jar, and you can see there's a big bobber in there, and there's a fishing worm in there, and there's a hook in there. Somebody left their fishing line in the water and a swan ate it. And the swan got really sick, so we had to go and do surgery and take it out of its belly. So we never want to leave our fishing line in the water. Somebody said to leave it out for the birds. Some people think that you should leave your fishing line out for the birds so they can make their nest. This was taken out of a bluebird nest. And the daddy bluebird was dead because he was all tangled up in this. And all the babies were dead because they got all tangled up in this. So we never want to leave it outside for the birds because they'll get tangled in it and then they'll die. So we never ever want to leave it outside for the birds. All right, and our last one was we throw it away in the garbage. It's getting tangled on me. Okay, so when we throw it in the garbage, where does it go? Go ahead. Uh-huh. And what is it, the dump?
Dump is a place where all trash goes.
I know, but what is there besides all that yucky trash?
Flies?
There's flies.
There's seagulls.
There's seagulls. And what's going to happen to the seagull at the landfill?
It will eat it and then it might die.
You're right. It's either going to eat it or it's going to get all tangled up in it. So taking it to the garbage can isn't really a good idea, is it? So I want to know how many here recycle. I recycle. A lot of you recycle. Did you know you could throw your fishing line in your recycle bin and recycle it?
Yeah. No.
So everybody should be taking your fishing line that you can't use and put it in your recycle, right? All right. We're going to bring out the birds. Now remember, these are wild birds. They were taken from the wild. You can't touch them, okay? So don't reach up and try and touch them. Very good.
Oh my goodness.
This is Shiloh. Shiloh is a hawk. You did good. Very good.
Oh my God.
I don't think anybody here has ever seen a bird like Shiloh. Has anybody ever seen a bird like Shiloh? Do you think?
I did, and the part was red.
Okay. Shiloh is a Harris's hawk. And a Harris's hawk doesn't live up here. It does not like it where it's cold. He likes it where it's hot in the desert. He loves to live in the desert where it's nice and hot, and at 125 degrees, that's what he likes. He likes it in the sun. So, I don't think anybody here has ever seen a Harris's hawk.